This year, my trip to Ethiopia lasted just 2 days. It was enough to cup fresh crop and discuss current situation at Ethiopian market with our key partners and new friends. Abyssinian Math is when 2 minus 1 is 3. How can our Ethiopian friends do it? We'll tell you right away. We've spent some time with you here brainstorming about the opportunities and about what the current market in Ethiopia looks like. And I want to introduce, to start explaining this to our customers in Russia as soon as possible. So the crazy scheme looks like this. Currently, the flow of coffee from step to step is pretty complicated with many steps. And starting from farmers, you say that you deal with around 5,000 farmers?
Like up to
5,000. Yeah. That up to 5,000 farmers per one washing station.
Yeah.
Each farmer has maybe less than a hectare of land.
Average
right?
land, yeah.
So what they deliver is the cherries.
Cherries to the washing station.
And at this point of time, they receive. Here is already the first interesting moment. So when the cherries arrive to the washing station, everybody is buying and selling. All washing stations are buying and selling. So there is
not buying, not selling.
Farmers selling.
Farmers selling.
Washing stations buying.
Buying, yeah.
So once there is a rumor across washing stations that the prices are getting higher, the washing station is actually forced to pay higher. Once the average is getting down, everybody is getting down. So it's like this. It's not a set.
Yeah, so especially when there's a shortage of crop, so washing station, when they want to get their volumes, they will increase a bit higher. So to compete with this guy, the other washing station will increase the price. So with this competition, the price goes crazy. Like this year, the price was very high because of these reasons. There was a shortage starting from Sidama area. So there was not much shortage in Irgachafe, but the Sidama influenced the Irgachafe price also. Guji area, same story. Not that much of shortage, but the crop was not reaping by the time the farmers were expecting it. So, washing stations were open, but there was small crop coming because it was late. So nobody understood how late it's going to be. So everyone was expecting coffee, but they were not getting, so they pay higher to get their volume for the washing station.
So at a certain moment, this harvest, there was the prices rocketed for a while.
So stayed there.
There was kind of panic.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't know.
Even when the crop was okay, the price stayed there.
People first, they perceive that there's going to be a shortage of cherry, especially exporters. So those exporters who have this direct channel, they went to the farmer and they keep on adding price because they want more cherry to come to themselves. So while they are adding and adding and adding, unfortunately this competition existed between coffee processors started, getting the coffee at the crazy price level. And I can tell you what it was paid this year for the farmer is almost double of what was paid on the previous year. Imagine, all this happened without the international coffee price or the selling prices not being changed, in a single cent. Everybody, all the clients are expecting to buy coffee almost the same price or little extra plus or minus cents, right? We as at the farm level, what we did was we tried to stay with the market. Like if they paid, we have nothing to do. I mean, there is nothing, we can do about it. We just pay the same price as everybody pay in that area. If it is 15 birr per kilo, we pay 15. If they increase, we increase. We don't, for this year, we didn't pay any extra at that level. We just paid the same price because the price is already high.
That the farmer gets versus the FOB price is not the major part. So there is still so much logistics, so much extras that are not even the cherry price.
Historically, the farmer in Ethiopia was getting almost around 30 to 40% of the FOB price being paid by the buyer. Still, big chunk of that money that is paying at FOB level, I'm talking about the fair price, price being sold at fair price. So was used for many things. Logistic take big chunk of, the service, get another big chunk, and even exporters keep big chunk for themselves.
But now how much?
Now I haven't calculated, but that goes up to 60% probably.
So next point is the washing station itself, which takes care of the coffee. It processes. It's either the washing itself, if it's a wash process, or just drying, if that's the natural process, right?
Yeah.
So what they do is after the process is done, this is then sent to the washing station warehouse.
Yeah.
And from there, the coffee goes to the ECX, for the control.
Yeah,
yes.
it will pass through ECX.
So that's a stop. It's a point where everybody stops to check what
Every
exactly.
bag?
Yes, what is inside, which quality is inside.
Which grade is this?
Grade it is, meaning your traditional G1, G2, G3, G4, right?
Yes.
And depending on the decision from the ECX, the coffee will fall into this or that price category.
Yeah.
Then the coffee can travel to the exporter's warehouse. And before it leaves for Russia, for example, it has to be checked by ECX again.
If it match the grade match the bag mark, like if it's grade 2, it has to be grade 2. The score has to be grade 2, and as per the contract also.
Okay, and ECX is keeping an eye on the fact that if the X amount of G4 entered the exporter, the same amount is supposed to leave.
Yes.
So you are technically not allowed to improve the grades by this.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the ECX itself is also the marketplace, right? So apart from the function of deciding which grade it is, there is the ECX market platform.
Yes.
Which functions as the stock exchange.
Yeah.
Buyers, sellers.
ECX by itself, it says it's Ethiopian Commodity Exchange.
Okay. Okay. So this is where the prices are fluctuating again.
Yeah.
So first at the level of washing station, it's the first moment when the price is decided, then ECX influences, then the exporter himself, and then the buyer side.
Yeah.
So this is the conventional commodity route, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The very funny fact that I learned from you today is that once defects are sorted out at the level of washing station, the defects or any coffee that is sold internally costs more than the coffee for exports.
For export, yeah.
And that is because the government is
encouraging the hard currency.
Okay, so they need dollars by all means.
By all means.
Don't leave coffee inside the country.
Yeah.
Move it out.
Move everything.
currency issue put Ethiopian exporters, Ethiopian importers, Ethiopian business community in bad position. And what have been happening for the last few years is most Ethiopian exporters, coffee exporters, are also importers.
Yes.
So what happened was, from when they export coffee, they are getting dollar to the country.
Mm-hmm.
In their country, they have this rule that you can use up to 75% of the dollar that you can bring into the country. So
what does it mean, can use?
Use for your importing company. You can import some stuff.
Otherwise, they have to sell the currency.
Yeah, sell the currency or give it to the bank and end up with nothing. Like you can just export your coffee, make your money on export, and that's it. It was meant to encourage exporters to bring more dollars to the country, but it was being used in bad way, I would say. That is, the exporters, they start selling the coffee at loss, literally at very loss, just to get as much as dollar they can get from outside buyer.
So the coffee doesn't have its value.
It doesn't have the value. For instance, if the coffee value, the actual value in the market is, let's say, $2,
okay,
the exporters, they sell it at $1. And they get that $1, in containers. And with that money, 75% of that money, they import some stuff from outside where they make their profit margin on the import.
So the moment they're selling coffee, they're losing $1.
Yes.
But when they do the other part of their job and import something, they will recover their $3, $4, $5.
Huge. Most of the time, the profit margin on import goods is 100% or even more than that. But the good thing is, recently the government recognized this problem and they put a new regulation in place. Still, we are waiting, to see the impact of that regulation because it's just new regulation. So the new regulation says all exporters must, follow the minimum price selling point for each coffee. So maybe we are hoping that this issue, this problem, will be corrected from this year on. But for the last 2-3 years, maybe the coffee was being sold at very low price, but that doesn't mean that the price of the coffee was that $1, not at all. So this year, the market will start seeing different pricing because of this correction by the government.
We are moving closer to the idea of how we can explain the biggest difference that TAFDAG creates.
Okay.
So the basic chain was the same, right?
Yeah.
But you make some improvements to make it, in certain cases, shorter, right?
Shorter, more traceable, more transparent, and quality improvement issues also.
Yes, so last year we purchased from you the Adisu lot, and it was a bright experience when we met him in person.
Yeah.
There was a very tricky situation when his son started to doubt if he wanted to sell. He didn't sell it to us, right?
Yeah, but his dad was also telling him to sell it to us because he was telling him the wise words, like, for example, you don't get rich by just one lot. One lot means 30 bags. You're not going to change your life with these 30 bags. You should start working with them. And like we were discussing it with him again, but he said no, because I have a better option here. I'm going to sell to these other traders. So finally, he came back to his dad and also to us, asking for forgiveness that he made a mistake. So now, we are going to work with him, but not like Adisu, because Adisu has been loyal to us. Now we saw so many changes on Adisu's life, so many better things, and it was the first project, and the first project was being also visited by you. So you have so many videos, and also Dennis, you guys have so many videos, and you also remember the way of life that living when you come last year. So when you come on the next season, I'm so sure that you're gonna admire how many lives you guys are affected and how many change that you're going to see.
For sure, we cannot expect life to be changed from one lot.
Yeah.
It has to be a consistent work, a year to year. And luckily we have, for example, Dennis, who is in personal contact with Adisu, and he's passionate about this kind of work. So you said the community saw the changes in the Adisu life.
Yeah.
Shall this impact their decisions on how they grow coffee, how they sell coffee, how they do their businesses?
Yeah, TAFDAG's plan in the first place also is to change not to change his life by paying him more. It's the plan is to show him which one is which, like for a better choice, better exposure, better market. Before that, any amount of effort he's going to put out, he's not going to get it back, because some wise person trying to profit from his efforts, because nobody wants to expose them to the world market. Mm-hmm. So now he saw this as an opportunity, and even for him, he's too proud to contact the buyers, the roasters directly by himself. So he's super excited to see those changes being made after 26 years in coffee business. Now he feels successful, so that makes me successful in this project.
Well, I don't know, maybe I'm too optimistic, but in general I can see that there is a new wave of coffee buyers and exporters who you represent. So young people who think differently and act differently. Yeah. And that leaves me with really high hopes for the future.
Yeah, it's logical. If you're young, you're gonna do this business for the future. So if you're gonna do in the future, you have to think of sustainability. Sustainability means keeping the specialty world safe, and people getting rid of those people who are abusing those types of business deals.